Good evening.
It is. It is. Here we are in a permanent winter vortex.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Joe.
Can winter end? I'm
Yeah.
kind of tired of
Oh.
I'm a good Canadian. I'll give you that. But there's
Mhm.
almost nothing I do outside anymore. I do not toboggan. I don't, do much of anything outdoors.
Aside from Groundhog Day, which was
Which was
fantastic
a
this year.
great crowd this year
Yeah.
out for St. Thomas Sally
Yeah.
making her prediction.
Mhm. Wasn't happy with the prediction though.
Well, you know what? The groundhog predictions are supposed to be equal either way. 6 more weeks of winter or an early spring. Either way, and so we had sunshine yesterday morning for a while, and it was quite nice to see the sun.
Yeah.
So the groundhog, she saw her shadow and
Mhm.
predicted 6 more weeks of winter. What did we find out yesterday? That Wyerton Willie is wrong.
29%. He's
Accurate only 29%.
Yeah, so that's 71% inaccurate.
Right. Well, we're hoping that St. Thomas Sally's has a equal amount of bad luck when predicting extra winter, which would make Willie right because he predicted an early spring.
Which we
hope he's not wrong this year.
But the odds are pretty good that he will be.
Yeah, well, because not. Let's not bet the farm on one of the sports betting sites on how the groundhog predicts. Right? So we're there. Lots going on still. It's been a busy week. There's been I'm heading to Ottawa tomorrow morning for an event on Thursday morning of the recognition of the 20th anniversary of us forming government.
Yes,
with the Harper government, and then lasting a good 12 or 13 years after that, and fantastic. Right. So I'm going to see some old friends and some people I haven't seen in a long time, including Prime Minister Harper, whose official portrait went up in Parliament today. So
wonderful.
Anxious to see what a great job that artist did on that. So Council last night had a lot of things on Council last night. We've got a few announcements. It's getting thinner because also as we get near Remembrance Day, people there's not always events that are stepping on a Remembrance Day. So let's do a couple of them. Sweetheart Smash is a Valentine's Day pickleball at the courthouse on February 14th.
Yeah.
So apparently between 1 and 5, you can beat the crap out of your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend.
Really?
Playing pickleball.
Oh my goodness.
It's called the Sweetheart Smash.
The Sweetheart Smash.
I think I've seen pickleball players and they are passionate. And so having a Valentine's Day event for them is quite good.
Yep.
Comedy Night at Rail City Brewing, February 28th, 8 till 9:30.
Wonderful.
Go ahead and laugh your brews off. Queso Bridal Show on March 15th.
Yes.
So, good month away. But the bridal show to prepare for this summer's brides, of course, and even next summer's. March 15th at Queso, 1 to 4. Elevate Her, a women's vendor show, March 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at St. Anne Center. It's the St. Thomas Chamber of Commerce. Vendor spaces are still available.
Yep.
It's a women's vendor show. So sounds like a lot of fun. The Inna Sisters, who we've talked about on our show before,
absolutely,
haven't we? March 26th at the St. Anne Center. Tickets are still available there too. Contact the St. Anne Center for March 26th. 2026 YWCA Women's Day, March 7th, 9 to 3 at the St. Thomas Senior Center, and tickets are still available for that also. There's a number of other ones we have already talked about. We'll share some more too. But we had a fairly full agenda last night at Council.
What was going on?
Well, just about a little of everything. But I want to remind everybody, if you've got any city questions, please share them with us. We talked a lot about different pieces last night, but specifically about customer service and the reports we're getting back from that.
Yes.
The transparency of this council and how short its meetings are, but how we've shrunk the amount of time we spend in closed session. So let me give you some of the great things of interest last night. We talked about the AMO report that came out about 3 weeks ago that's the Association Municipalities of Ontario. And they came out with a report on homelessness as a recovery report from a year ago. And it was called Municipalities Under Pressure 1 year later. And there really was a significant increase in homelessness in most communities, all communities, it seemed, across Ontario, except for one that stood out. That had seen a 6% reduction in
Was that St.
homelessness.
Thomas?
Yes, it certainly was. And so we talked a lot about that last night. And Daniel Nielsen, our great housing guru, was there last night to talk about why we're standing out a little different and where we are looking now as we move forward with the new Indwell project. Eastwood had a great article out on.
Saw that.
No, it was really
Was
fun
it
to read it.
82 or 84?
Yeah, 82, I think,
units,
affordable, deeply affordable
Deeply
units
affordable,
in
yeah.
that building, of which some of them the city will help fill with people from its by names list and from other places. So, all right, we declared some surplus property on Chestnut Street last night. We declared surplus property on 3rd Ave last night. The reason the city declares that surplus property is to see if there's any financial interest from developers who might want to use some piece of those lands, so we can either generate the sale of the land or at least maybe go into a cooperation with them on building housing on some of the land that's ours, much like we've done in the past with Indwell and others. So we did those last night. The proposed official plan and zoning amendments for 417 Wellington Street. This is a bit of a strange one. The Elgin, and there'll be a public meeting on this next week or the week after. The Elgin Center is asking for another separate zoning change, and as they're wont to do, they own the property and they can do it's their property, they can do it, but looking to put a dog kennel and boarding situation as part of the mall.
Really?
Yeah. And I thought, well, with the number of pets in our community, that's maybe a good place for it to happen. So, well, let's see what happens with the public meeting on that. But it was quite a unique thing to talk about. We talked about a application coming up for a public meeting on Warehouse Street. If you know where Warehouse Street runs, it runs off between Fairview and First, basically.
It's such a bizarre, because I've heard of Warehouse. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And it's just this random location.
Yeah, I guess there used to be warehouses there or something along the old section of Talbot.
Yeah.
It's where the rail track runs that we've made the pathway underneath the Fairview is back in there. And so there's a project coming forward that the owner of the property, the Ostrich, have asked for us to do a public meeting to change that zoning there to housing. So we'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
We talked a bit about the 57, 59, 65, and 75 Walnut Street project last night. Changed the zoning to allow the fourth building there. And then today had some really kind of unique things happen. And some of you may have seen a report already about the contractors doing some work. Found some bones. Immediately, the city steps in and
that's got to be the craziest call, or one of them you get. He's like, we're doing a dig, and there's some remains here.
Well, and it turns out that they were animal remains and not human. So we've done all the right things by stopping at the time, making sure we do the assessment, putting in place some more follow up to make sure what we're looking at. But it turns out animal remains, not human remains. So we're moving forward there still. The Ryan Davies project. If you remember that's about preventing drowning in our community and putting life-saving equipment at Pinafore Park, at Lake Margaret, at Waterworks Park, and making it so that type of life-saving equipment is available and ready to go. And Adrian from our Parks Department came up with just a beautiful plan to make sure this works. And so you'll start to see that come spring. We'll start to be posting it. There'll be some more, warnings about what you can do and can't do in some of our, but really looking to prevent or increase safety, may be a better way to put it, rather than preventing drowning. But
and some of the folks I've talked about as well have said, if you did happen to go by and someone had capsized, it's easier for you to throw a flotation device into the water.
If it's there and you can do it and you know what you're doing. But as the fire chief said last night, they're perfectly trained at it. Not everybody else is. I think Councillor Herbert said, well, then why don't we put little boats there in case so someone could row out? And the chief said, because you're not trained on what to do. The prevention of drowning can sometimes cause a second drowning, or it's harder to try and save someone that way. So that's what that was about. a new bylaws coming up, the use of drones in our parks. Because they're becoming more prevalent. I know you safely fly drones and also know where you can and can't do it. And so some of this is also about, I mean, do we really want somebody flying drones taking pictures over top of our public pool or those types of things? So there's some of those.
There are laws against that.
Of course there is, but we want to make sure that we're sharing that too. Right? We accepted a very large contract last night on the Woodworth Ave reconstruction. That's Woodworth from the Highway 3 bypass to South Edgeware. Again, some really big pipes under the ground need to be done as part of the wastewater we're doing, but Woodworth is a pretty main street there too, but some, I don't know, $4 million worth of contract to do a pretty big piece of Woodworth Ave. We had a report from John, our deputy clerk, on council meetings. And we, again, have increased our transparency by lowering the amount of closed meetings, but also lowering the amount of time we actually spend in council, right? That we're getting more big things done, more things done with this council. Love them all. They're my best. This mayor's got the best council ever. But we get things done appropriately, and so and we don't make you sit there for 7 hours and watch council. If you're interested in council, you can come on, and it's only about an hour or hour and a half long, and you really do get all you can out of it. Followed with that, also from our clerk's department, was a corporate customer service update. And you know, we talk a lot about customer service,
we certainly do,
and how. And I gave Councillor Gibson a huge shout out last night because she's the best. She just converts everybody into, you know, that. Why don't you ask that question of customer service and actually get something solved? And so we continue now to do it. And the report coming back, we're getting very good action on it. Another small change in a bylaw last night was on the sign bylaw. And what we had found in previous elections is the city has city property or boulevards or whatever in front of many people's homes. And because it was said that election signs were allowed on municipal property, somebody would go put an election sign on your boulevard, even though that isn't your choice. So we've kind of removed that thought that, look, if you're going to put an election sign or some sort of advertising sign anywhere, it must be on property you have permission to put the sign on. And I think from someone who's had a few elections in my life, signs on lawns don't necessarily vote, but getting somebody's permission before you put a sign on their lawn, it just seems like good common sense and non-rudeness. So that was done. Any questions we need to answer yet? Or we?
There's a question about having more funeral homes in St. Thomas, and the answer to it is if you know a funeral director that wants to bring a funeral home to St. Thomas, talk to them and have them.
Absolutely. The city doesn't own funeral homes. We help license them. We help license burials. We help license weddings. But the city would love a vibrant business to come to our community and compete with the ones that are already here at every step we can. Please, right? Competition is great across the board, so let's do it. Right?
Yeah, and Tony Bendel's saying hi, good evening, and hi Tony.
Hi Tony.
Thanks for watching.
Yes.
He's saying loving the opening now at Talbot and Fairview. And
I forgot it was under construction before. It's been open so long. I've been using it so much. It is truly a way I go a lot. So
it's just fantastic. He's also saying he really enjoys the new store, the new Wendy's store up North End.
Well,
great
Elmer this week too. We did a grand opening. I did ask Marcy, let's not ever do 2 openings in the same month again. It's been a little bit of work for an old guy to do. So we've had a lot of fun with that.
And congratulations again on your opening.
Well, thanks. It's just been great. So what else we got?
We got just some other statements on there. All right. So
perfect.
We've got to give a shout out to Maria.
Yes.
I saw the announcement come out.
Yes. Our long-standing clerk and chief legislative officer, because she's responsible for all things elections and such also here in the city of St. Thomas. Maria Conifel is retiring coming May, I think. And she's been around here a long time, before I became mayor. So she's
I love her smile.
Right.
And, it was just the other day when I was after Groundhog Day.
Right.
I was getting some pictures of City Hall, taking some pictures to say
Right.
thanks to the roads crew and stuff,
Right.
and for all the snow clearing.
Which for the downtown, beautiful job.
Phenomenal
And
job
the whole
of.
community, but removing the snowbanks from downtown was a tough job, an overnight job, and it was great to see what they've done. But back to Maria.
She's walking to City Hall. She says a big smile on her face. She's super happy. We had a nice little chat. It's just I always loved seeing Maria. I'm going to be sad to see her go. Well, but she's done an amazing job.
I agree too, but she's my first line of advice when something is bylaw related, procedural related. Sitting at council, you see where I sit, and I look down.
She keeps you in line, eh?
Well, when Maria turns her head, I know I've just done something that was probably incorrect. So I always check and say, well, maybe let me just check on that bylaw to make sure that's where we're at on this, or that we still needed a vote and I didn't get it done. But she is super, super efficient. Our city runs in a far better way, including the customer service side of things, the licensing side of things, because of the great job Maria has done, and she will be impossible to replace, but we'll find somebody pretty good to do the job. That process starts this week. And
another thing too is when we gave the shout out from the City Hall staff, Maria got everybody in customer service to do the song and
no.
She
got a fun great team energy down there. Great fun team down there, and it's the desk. When you walk into City Hall, that's likely where you're going to stop first. Yeah. And I can't tell you that everybody who walks into City Hall is pleased at the moment they walk in. And so the fact that the customer service desk or the licensing desk may be the first place they're going, it takes an incredibly good staff to make that work for us. Maria, thank you for building the team you have.
I've got a shout out from Stephanie, your wife. Stephanie Preston. Hi, Stephanie.
Boy, Stephanie doesn't usually watch Mayor's Update. We're in trouble
keeping an
now.
Eye on you now, Joe.
Yeah. Okay. What else didn't I say? Stephanie's been working hard at Wendy's and she was even Wendy on Saturday.
I loved it.
If you haven't seen pictures, she's gorgeous.
If you scroll down the Establishment Facebook page, I stopped in with my family.
Yes,
and it was
we had a fun time. It was anyway. Yeah. Cold days. Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks for watching.
Oh man. So we've
got a few more things.
Yep. And tomorrow is I don't think we mentioned the pitch yet, but tomorrow is the pitch with the Elgin Business Resource Center.
Yes. So, the Elgin Business Resource Center. The pitch is tomorrow night. I'm not here. I'm in Ottawa, but really exciting. Good number of businesses.
Yep.
Vying for a huge prize load.
Oh, it's $50,000, I believe, in prizes.
Worth of
cash
consulting
and in-kind.
And ads and stuff. Beautiful. Great to have new businesses starting out that way in our community.
And next Wednesday, we have the Mayor's Luncheon. So you'll be there with the Mayor from Southold, the Mayor from Central Elgin.
Mayor Jones and
Mayor Sloan.
Mayor Sloan will be there. We'll have a great chat about what we've done in 2025, how we're looking forward to 2026, and what the whole region can look at. It's always fun. Some of these chamber events are growing in size. I see we've moved this one to the Memorial Auditorium this year, so it holds more people. It's nice that more people want to come out and hear the mayors. I guess that's
fantastic.
That's a positive thing.
But if you're looking for a ticket, go to the Chamber's website, the St. Thomas District Chamber website, and you can get your ticket, and then you can bring your questions in advance. If you want them answered, you have to bring them in advance.
That's right.
So that the people have the time to do the research, to provide proper answers for the questions.
Yes. February 5th is Optimist Day. Flag raising in front of City Hall. I am not here, but we have a couple of great optimists filling in.
And I love in the brackets, weather dependent.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like they might do it in the council chambers.
And Councillor Taylor, who's one of our better optimists, involved in the Santa Claus Parade and a bunch of other stuff,
so many things.
Said optimists are tough. So I have a feeling that we'll probably see the flag raising outside. Yeah. It may not be a 2-hour event because it's pretty cold though still, but
a little bit chilly.
Have fun.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
What a polar vortex. All right. Doug is saying, when is the next or the new parks bylaw going to be posted on the city website?
New parks bylaw.
I'm not sure.
We have a new Parks and Rec master plan that we're still going through. Some of it still needs to be, I'm doing this on purpose because it was not a small document, including the executive summary. So we're going to have a lot of conversation still about the forward thinking of our Parks and Rec in town, where we'll put new trails, where we'll put hopefully at some point a new recreational facility where we'll what we'll do with our existing parks and what can be made better. We've said some repairs to Emsley Field this year, some beach volleyball courts, some other stuff, but the whole thing will come to council as a bit of a package marked around the Parks and Rec master plan, and that discussion will take place with your council when that does come to town.
And Doug clarified, he meant the new bylaw that's being proposed for the drones.
Okay. It was put forward. I think it now has to come to council one more night to be voted on. So we did vote on it last night. It might now be in place, and I'm sorry, but I haven't read my bylaws signing book yet the morning after.
But we can let you know next week.
That's how important, how good the clerk's office is at getting that stuff for the mayor to sign.
But shout out to the curling club and all they do.
Oh yes,
because they sponsored, or the Caps Off sponsored an event there this weekend, and what a cool, energetic vibe that was there. Brings in visitors to this awesome city. Interns
and outturns and sweeping and all of that. And beers. That was a pretty good thing.
What I love about it is it's a cinder block building, but when you walk in, it has all this like polished wood.
Yeah, it's really quite a unique old building that doesn't look like it from the outside. You think it's a car repair shop or something.
A Quonset out the back. You're like, oh, what is this place? You walk, it's phenomenal.
Another one I should mention is one I'm working with Kyle Rolfe on coldest night of the year from the youth group, February 28th. If you haven't signed up to walk, it's a very short walk, but to really move a purpose about what we do from a homeless point of view and a youth homeless in our community, and coldest night of the year it's called. The mayor's going to be there this year, and I've missed it a couple of years, so Kyle and I were just talking today about how else can we make this an even more special night. So put it in your calendar, February 28th. Start getting your sponsorship because you're going to come walk. It's cold out there, and be ready to do so.
And I've got to get some people messaged me about sponsorship, so I got to get my sponsorship dollars over to them. So
right.
If you're watching, that's coming still. Mark is saying, will there be new employment opportunities or volunteer positions at the new animal shelter?
Certainly, I'm not certain about employment because we're simply moving the shelter and the workers from the shelter to the new shelter. But you can always volunteer. I mean, the animal control group in our community loves your help and your donations. I know that when our JoJo passed, we took all of our JoJo food and all of the different things that went with her love in our life and got them to our animal shelter. And we're always taking those types of donations and certainly need your help. There's always a kitten in there that needs petting. There's a dog that needs a home. Please, if you reach out to our animal control officers and see how you can help.
And Employment Services Elgin has an event, an employment open house for their building at 400 Talbot.
Match the job to you or something is called like that. And
I believe it's 1 to 5.
Get it on my phone that quick. So
but it's coming up fast. So register there, and then you can see all the different services they provide. You can talk to all the folks. Drop in. There's going to be talks.
It's really funny because every so often, almost every day, somebody hits St. Thomas happenings with, I've been looking for work, and what am I supposed to do? Go to Employment Services Elgin, go to Employment Services at Fanshawe, go to Indeed, go to a number of the people who do this for a living. They'll give you better advice on how to go apply. Oh, I've applied at 200 places and nobody called me back. Well, I'm going to tell you, as I sat there at my new store in Elmer or the new store in Highbury in the last couple of weeks, when somebody walks in at noon on a Saturday or a Friday and says, I'd like to apply for work, I said, well, you have no idea what you're doing. And you just tried to apply at a very busy restaurant at the busiest time of the week. So, I mean, some of this stuff can be easily taught, easily helped. We always take your resume, but we might be, not the right time to have an interview with you because of how it's going. But Employment Services Elgin is fantastic. They have a staff that really can help you better write a resume, better handle interviews, better handle how to job search. What search are you looking for? In what area would you be? And so please use the resources that are already there in our community. Getting 53 people's advice on St. Thomas happenings about how to apply for work, These are the same people sitting home working on St. Thomas happenings, and so maybe wouldn't be the right ones to be asking. So let's go to the experts wherever we can.
I got a comment in here from Kim. She says, we have an ongoing problem at Midtown parking lot with people dumping their garbage.
Yes.
This is a disgusting mess and is an entrance into several businesses. I've contacted the city numerous times, and we need something done to prevent this. Is there anything you can do?
Yes. Find out who's doing it. If you can, I mean, certainly it's a crime to do what somebody's just dumping stuff in your parking lot. We obviously, Kim, I'm almost certain we send out a team to clean it up when it happens, along with the business's help. But prevention is going to go a long way. But keep getting it to customer service that it's occurred, and we can make sure that it does get cleaned up. I have seen it in the past, and certainly I've been notified about it. But let's keep going through customer service for it to happen, and let's try and identify which of our neighbors there is doing it. Let's try and prevent that from occurring.
Right? Another question from Adam Montgomery. He's saying, I figure it's Central Elgin territory, but any idea why Highway 3 under Burwell Bridge is 60 kilometers an hour headed towards Elmer, but the roundabout to Burwell Bridge is 80 kilometers an hour on the other side?
Yeah, because it's just been, as we are building new roads and have generated new roads like the roundabout at the end of it, some of it truly is city traffic. Other part of it's still MTO.
Right.
Look, we've asked, can we get this all done? While MTO builds the new expressway, we may have a piece that's 60 and a piece that's 80.
And it's 60 because it's in city property?
That
or under city jurisdiction?
Yes, we can have road speeds of that. And I see that even the county is moving some of their road speeds back to 70 from 80.
Yeah.
And they didn't used to be able to do that. Now they are. So you're right. It's not that that's Central Elgin. That's truly in the city of St. Thomas, but it's MTO regulated because it's the Highway 3 bypass. So we've asked the same story you have, Adam, that can we just get it all the same? But with the road construction and such going on, we're probably not installing new signs until such time as that piece of work gets done. I wish they could just go do some of it now and get it off.
Honestly, that one drives me a bit nuts too, because I'm like, oh no.
I'm Adam, you're like me. I'm aware. I say, oh, that's 60. I better not do.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it's 80 now. Okay, I can. Right. Just follow your own road rules and what works for you too. But we'll mention it again to those that could help us fix that. Okay.
All righty. Well, we're coming to the end of our time here. Are there any other thoughts you wanted to mention out?
Can we buy a new recycle bin at City Hall? Under the new recycling program, you go through that program. We put out a phone number for it, but if you call customer service, they'd be able to help you with the number as to who to call and who to reach. We did speak last night and asked staff for a bit of a report back on small businesses and their recycling, because that's been asked of us 2 or 3 times. So we're just going to see how much that would cost us as a city to add that, because it's not part of the new provincial recycling rules. If it's something we can add without a great deal of cost, and the current recycling contractor will help us with it, look forward to it. Let's see if we can do it.
All right. Dale's asking if you can bring him a burger and fries.
No, but I haven't had a chance to stop yet today. Today, I did get a haircut at Angry Bear, and I wanted to point out
looking very sharp, by the way.
What a great job they did. I've got to go up to Ottawa and represent the city and visit with the minister on another topic while I'm up there tomorrow. So I thought I better look good to do it.
You got to shape up to be able to ship out. That's what they say.
Oh, you're the guy from St. Thomas, aren't you? Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah, right. And I'm just double checking. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So, I think we got through all the things. Mark's posted a phone number. Mark, I'm just checking.
That's the city phone number. So if you add extension 0 to that, you'll reach customer service. If you use 519-631-1680, or you can go on the city website and fill out the customer service form. Whatever you feel most comfortable with, and ask in each case, could you please get back to me with the results? And if you want to include the mayor's name in there, then they get back to me too, and it lets us track the great work that customer service does do.
Mm-hmm. And Councillor Gibson is saying, you don't look taller, Joe.
No, I do not. No, I'm trying, right? But sometimes it's the forcefulness of your argument, and that's what I hope to do with the federal government tomorrow when I'm in Ottawa.
That's right.
Yes.
Perfect. Well,
thank
Joe,
you.
Thank you so much for everything.
Looking forward to a council meeting next week.
Yep.
And there's a public meeting as part of it, and then mayor's update on Tuesday night.
Yep, next Tuesday.
Right. So come join us.
All right.
We're getting great turnout lately.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for the pleasantness of the questions too.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having good, thorough questioning, good answers, and happy to keep doing the transparency that we're currently doing in our city.
And if you have any questions, you can send them in through the established media messages. If you want to do the research beforehand and then answer them live on the show.
Something we can answer live on the show from the week before or in the midweek questions. Absolutely.
All right, folks. Take care.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week.